And welcome on in, wagerweekly.com for week 11 in the NFL. Paul Nolan breaking down your Sunday card. Let's go to your Sunday night game, wrapping up the Sunday in week 11. And, of course, that is Minnesota on the road to Denver, 474. Minnesota, obviously, both teams got something going right now. Minnesota, the story with Josh Dobbs is unbelievable. 1-2 in a row. Obviously, Denver with the big win up in Buffalo as Buffalo can't get the right personnel on the phone. 5-5, really having some struggles up there in Buffalo. Josh Allen seems a little bit lost, Paul Nolan. But both teams got a little something going. Denver's got a little something going. Maybe Sean Payton's starting to find a little rhythm here with this offense. And obviously with Russell Wilson playing a little better. And here comes Minnesota into town. This game opened 1.5 Denver. Now 2.5 Denver favorite at home. Your total set at 42. Interesting game. Both teams got something going right now.
I'm a big PFF guy. I absolutely love their grading systems. Don't agree with everything they do, but I do love what they do. And when you look at injuries as much as I do, which is so crucial to picking these games, you see that anytime an offensive lineman goes down, the grade that was there for the starter, you're seeing a similar grade to the backup. And to me, you're seeing it with Addison coming in the number one receiver role, and you're seeing it now with Dobbs. Dobbs comes in off the bench, no reps, doesn't know guys' names, doesn't know where the locker room is, comes in and starts out a complete disaster. His mind is absolutely incredible when he starts out with fumbles in game one, and he's a mess, and he's all over the place. The next thing you know, he's got a grasp of the offense because O'Connell's doing a phenomenal job coaching him up. And let's be honest, O'Connell's done a wonderful job, scheming to the strengths. And what we saw with Kirk Cousins was he was finding Kirk a lot of cool, like second reads, pump fakes, it was just tailor-made. We saw some designed run last week for Dobbs, and he's got those wheels. He's got that, he's got that light on his feet, swivel hip. So you can now dial up some runs with him and change the game plan a little bit. And now this kid, you obviously knows about his brain and his rocket science, and NASA's tweeting him. They're calling him the Pastronaut. And, it's such a beautiful story. It's one of those things you just love seeing these kids, achieve their dream, and it just fills your heart with joy. I mean, I just love it. And normally I'd be against this feel-good story at this point. This would be a spot where I'd be against it, but I can't go against them in this situation right now because I feel like, I just feel like when you look at the statistical data, Wilson has crumbled when he's blitzed, and nobody blitzed is more than Flores. Flores' teams, they're blitzing 50% of the time, and they've been nothing short of dominant in their blitz schemes. And, Russell Wilson's, QBR under blitz 75, without the blitz, he's 113. He looks like he's preserving his body, preserving his contract, preserving the long-term picture of what this team plans on building around him. It looks to me like he's getting a relationship with Sean Payton, and Sean Payton's a great coach, great mind, but I just don't think that this Bronco team coming off that Super Bowl style win for them, in Buffalo, really, when you talk that game was, what a big win for them last week. I mean, they desperately needed that game on national television, and they could have easily lost that game. But Bills' defense, which is obliterated with injuries, just caved in the second half. They were out of gas. They couldn't make a tackle. They couldn't make a play. And, if that team was the team defensively we thought they were, they had been, that's another loss. What would this line be then? So I feel I'm getting some good value on Minnesota right now. In fact, I want to go check the number. The last I saw was 2.5.
Yeah, and while you're checking those numbers, I have a couple numbers if you want to talk reality of this Denver offense under Russell Wilson. And Denver, just overall as a favorite, last 20 times as a favorite, Denver is absolutely a putrid 4-15-1 against the spread. And Russell Wilson as a favorite, since he's gotten to Denver, he has covered one time as a favorite. That is unbelievable. He's covered one time as a favorite in Denver, 4-15-1, their last 20 in that spot as well. So go ahead, Paul.
But you're absolutely right. I think this team's primed for a letdown here. They come home, after like that emotional win, and I just see them kind of fat catting it in this game. I know they have the Browns on deck. It's, non-conference game here. And I just think the Vikings are one of those teams that there's so much good juju in the locker room. These guys love each other. This is a good locker room. The defense has been so interesting. This defense was so bad last year. They're 7th in EPA versus the run. You look at this Vikings defense, when they've gone against, to me, like they've just been so good. Like for example, with their blitzing and their schemes, they've been given way better coverage in the back end, and that secondary was brutal last year, and they're covering it up. On the other side of it, Wilson against in this Denver defense, everyone's talking about how that Denver defense got better, but when they faced play action, they've been like obliterated. You go back and look at the film, and when Mahomes, by the way, I still don't understand what this offense is doing with Mahomes. It's another subject for another time. Only 13% of the time he won play action. He was 5 of 6 with a drop pass, with 17 yards per pass play and over 100 yards against in play action against them. Then the next week, Jordan Love, who stinks, and his accuracy and his sidearm throwing is driving me crazy. He was 9 for 9 over 100 yards on play action with 30% of their passes in play action. And then even Josh Allen was 5. Oh no, I'm sorry, that was 5 of 7. It was again 2 drops for Mahomes the next week, and then Allen was great on play action. So I think that this play action offense, which is what the Vikings love to do, I think they're going to just be able to toy with Denver in this game. I love him in this spot. I think it's a perfect matchup offensively and defensively. I set this line at 1.5, and to get 2.5 right now, I'm praying to see a 3 here. I just want to see a 3 so bad. And Minnesota's also a team that I think is a great teaser value in this game.